This conference will now be recorded.
So we have seen how to use the sequence generator transformation with different scenarios. We discussed different properties inside the sequence generator transformation. So sequence generator transformation mainly we use to generate the sequence numbers in the target table, and also we can generate the cyclic numbers and all. So those we do not use sequence generator transformation to generate the cyclic numbers and all in real time. Okay, so we generate only sequence numbers. Okay, but in interview they may ask, so if you want to get the numbers like this, then what properties we have to enable. Okay, and also different logical questions or logical scenarios we discussed, right? Those and all even though if you are not going to create in real time, so but they may ask in interview. So suppose, let's say, if I want to populate the data in the target table, so what logics we have to use or what properties we have to enable inside the sequence generator transformation, like that they will ask. Okay, next. Today we'll start with joins. Okay, so whenever we talk about joins, so here we should have multiple tables. Okay, so by using multiple tables we can do the joins. In SQL we have different types of joins, like normal join. Okay, left outer join, right outer join, and then we also have full outer join. So like this, we have four types of joins in SQL: normal join, left outer join, right outer join, and full outer join. Okay, so what is normal join? So normal join basically it returns all the records from both the tables, or it returns matching records from both the tables. It returns only matching records. So these definitions also very important. In interview they also ask about joins definitions, what is normal join or what is left outer join, right outer join, like that. So these definitions also you have to remember. Normal join means it returns only matching records from both the tables. And what about left outer join? So left outer join means it returns all the records from the left side table and only matching records from the right side table. Okay, also we can say matching records from both the tables and all the records from left side table. Okay, so all the records from left side table and only matching from right side table. Okay, this is left outer join. And what about right outer join? So right outer join means all the records from right side table. Okay, so all the records from right side table and only matching records from left side table. We'll see what is this right side and left side tables. Full outer join, so it returns both matching and non-matching. It returns both matching and non-matching from both the tables. So these are the definitions of joins. So we have normal join. So normal join means it returns only matching records from both the tables, and left outer join. So it returns all the records from left side table and only matching records from right side table. Okay, so right outer join, all the records from the right side table and only matching records from left side table. And then full outer join means it returns both matching and non-matching records from both the tables. Okay, so example, let's say we have the source table like this. Okay, empj underscore j means join underscore yes, employee number, employee name, department number. So we have the data like this: B20, 3C30. So like this, we have employee table and department J underscore yes. This is also another source table. Here we have department number, department name. So 10 HR, 20 accounts. Let's say here we have 40 finance. We don't have 30. Let's say we have 40 like this. Okay, so now if you use the normal join, so to join these two tables, so as I told, as per the definition, it returns only matching records from both the tables, right? So to join the table, there should be a common column in both the tables. So here common column would be department number. So based on the department number, we are going to join these two tables. Okay, so if you are going to join these two tables based on the department number, then it returns matching records from both the tables, means based on the department number it will join, right? So it will take the department number from this employee table and it will check, is there any department number 10 in this table? Yes, we have here. Okay, this is the matching record. So it returns 1 8 10 10 HR like that. So if I write a query for the normal join, so it returns this record 10 10 is the matching record. Next again it will go and check, is there any other 10? So we don't have any other 10 here, so it will not return. Next it will take the 20 and it will check. So for the first record, department number, is this matching with 20? No. And for the second record, is this matching? Yes, this is matching. So it also returns 2B20 accounts record from both the tables. Next it will take 30. It will check in both the tables. Do we have 30 here? No, we don't have 30. So that means there is no matching record for 30 in the right side table. So this is implies the left side table and department is the right side table. Okay, so now for 40, do we have any matching record here? We don't have any matching record. So from in these two tables, we have matching only for 10 and 20. So after execution, we will get the data only for 10 and 20 records. So because those two are the matching records. So let me write the query here. So in my system, I've already created the table. So while practicing, you can create the table and you can insert some records like this. So here we have 10, 20, 30. Okay. So in the same way, we have department DEPTJ underscore yes. Here we have 10, 20, and 40. Same like this I have inserted. Now we have seen here normal join means we have only two records or matching from both the tables. Okay, so if I write a query for the normal join, so we have to write the query like this: select star from the employee table space, we have to give the alias name. Okay, so e means that's a alias name or dummy name we can give. So why we have to give the alias name means if there are two tables or more than one table in a single query, to differentiate the tables again and again, instead of writing the full table name, we'll use the alias name. Okay, so DEPTJ underscore yes, alias name D. So E means employee table, D means department table. On E dot department number is equals to D dot department number. So this is the query. So we can write query like this. So you can see here we have in between the table names we have to write join. So select star from the employee table, alias name E, join department table D on E dot. E dot means again, instead of writing the table name here, E refers employee table, here D refers department table. So we are joining employee table department number with department table department number. So like this, we can write a normal join query. So to write a normal join just between the table names, we have to write the join. So if you just write a join, it will do the normal join. Okay, and if I execute this query, you can see we have got only two records where we have 10 10 matching and 20 20 matching. So we don't have any matching for 30 and 40. So it returns only those two records. So this is normal join query. Okay, now in the same way, if I execute the left outer join query, so for the same query, if I execute left, so to write a left join query, so we just have to write between the table names. So left join. No, we can also write left outer or we can also write left join. Anything is fine. So left outer join means all the records from the left side table. So left side table means the employee is the, so here, so whatever the table is there left side in the I mean, like first table is the left table, and right side and like the second table in the query, it will consider as right side table. The first table in the query considers as a left side table, and the second table in the same query consider as a right side table. Okay, so now, so as per the left outer join definition, it returns all the records from the left side table. So that means all the records from employee table, and only matching records from right side table. 10 and 20 we have matching records, and all the records means 30 record also it will return. Okay, and we will not get the 40 record, so we'll get all the records from left side table means 10, 20, 30, and matching records from right side table 10 and 20. So like that it returns. Now if I execute this left outer join query, we can see the output, all the records from left side table. So these three are the all records from left side table, right? Okay, and first two are the matching records from right side table. And for this 30, which since we don't have any matching record at right side table, we have got here null values, and we didn't get the 40. 40 is not the matching record, and we don't have any matching record in left side table. That's why we didn't get the 40 here. Okay, so for 30, since there is no matching record at right side table, we have got the null values, right? So left outer join means all the records from the left side table and only matching records from right side table. Since for 30 we don't have any matching record in right side table, we have got the null values here. Okay, so in the same way we can also execute the right outer join query. So right outer join means in place of left we can write right. So right outer join means, so it returns all the records from right side table. So this time we will get all the records 10, 20, 40, but we will not get 30. So all the records from right side table and only matching records from left side table. Okay, so this time we can see 40 here, all the records from right side table. So these three are the all records from right side table, and for this we have only matching, first two are the only matching record, and for 40 we don't have any matching record on left side table. That's the reason we have got the null values here. Okay, so this is right outer join. Now full outer join means both matching and non-matching. So we will get the first two matching records, and 30, 40 also non-matching records we will get here. So this is full join. So if I execute this query, so you can see here both matching, these two are the matching records, and these two are the non-matching records in both the tables. So as per the definition, you can see it returns both matching and non-matching records from both the tables. So first two are the matching records from both the tables, and the last two are the non-matching records from right side tables, left and right side tables. Okay, so these joins also very important in real time. So if there are multiple tables, to read the data from multiple tables, we will be joining multiple tables by writing the query inside the source qualifier transformation. We'll read the data from multiple tables and we load the data into a target table.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah, in all these four queries I have seen, I mean, you have written that from emp underscore j underscore s e, and then dpt underscore j underscore s, and then d.
Yes.
So that e and d are the aliases, then alternative names.
What is that?
E and D are alternative names.
Exactly. These are the alternative names, or we call these are alias names.
And so there's nothing in between that emp underscore j underscore s and e.
Space. Here there should be a space, right? One character space should be there.
Okay. Okay.
So you have to give one character space.
Okay.
So we call this as a alias.
Okay.
Okay, alias means dummy name or alternative name. Why we are giving alternative name or dummy name? So whenever in this query, again, instead of writing this complete table name, we'll just write that alias name.
Okay.
Okay, so here if you have not used E and D here, when you join those two tables, again here in place of E, you have to write the complete table name, empj underscore yes dot no is equals to, here also again you have to, in place of D, again you have to write this complete table name.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of again writing the table names there, we'll just use whatever alias names we have given to those table names. Those alias names will use in the join condition.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So any other questions? Clear, right? Okay. So now what we'll do? So we'll join these two tables and we'll load the data into another table. Okay, so here emp dept j underscore s underscore tr, we can write edt. So employee department target. So these two are the sources, employee department, these two are the sources, and this is the target table edt. So here let's say we'll have employee number, employee name, department number, and department number one, and department name. Okay, so why I have given department number one? So this is from department table. So if we have already department number, then for the other column it will give DNO1. Okay, so first three columns from the employee table and the last two columns from
Sorry for
department table.
difference.
Yes.
We are every time we are defining target table initially. Like, is there a way we create while doing the mapping? The target table, is there any other easy way, like, or we have to plan our, we have to design our target table in first place, like
Yes, exactly. Before you start creating the mapping, you have to decide the source and target table, and you have to plan what column should be there in the source table and what column should be there in the target table. And you should have to create source and target tables, and you should have some records in the source tables. And target table you should have to create without any data or without any records. Okay, and then once the source and target tables are ready, then through Informatica mapping, we'll be extracting the data from the source tables and we will be loading into the target table. So without having the target table, how you are going to create a mapping and where you are going to load the data? So
yeah,
for that,
that I understood. Like, is there any other option instead of creating in the first place? Like, is there any option, like while we do the transformation, is there any other option we have to create? Like, what are the port we are using for that particular port? End of mapping, and when we connect the target, is there anything Informatica bring automatically? This is the target table. Automatically will that bring? Is there any option like that, or we
no,
have
it will
to do?
not bring. It will never bring the table automatically. We have to decide and we have to select the target table where it should have to load the data. So that is the reason while creating the mapping, it is mandatory to select. You can, if you see here, so it is mandatory to select the source or target definition. Okay, so that is mandatory to import the target definition. Okay, so without importing, without you are deciding the target table, so that is not going to be a valid.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
here mandatory we have to decide the target while creating the mapping. We have to decide. So automatically Informatica is not, how Informatica knows that where it should have to load the data, because in the database we have hundreds of tables. We
No,
don't
yeah,
Informatica. Yeah.
that's I understood. But I was thinking, when we source, we are sourcing to table, and then is there any? It's a powerful tool though, so I thought maybe it will give the option for create the target ports, the field name. I was just thinking, so I got it.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So mandatorily we have to give the source and target. So otherwise, without deciding, it will not create a map. I mean, like during the creation of the mapping only, we have to decide first what is the source and what is the target. Automatically, it will not decide. So how Informatica knows that what is the target table. So for that, first we have to tell to Informatica, okay, this is the source table. From there, you read the data, and this is the target table. There you should have to write the data. Like that, if we create a mapping based on that, it will read the data from the source table, and whatever the target we have specified in that target table only, it is going to load the data.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I
Next.
have a question, Ali. So in real time, do we have to design or we have to create the target tables like source?
No,
We
we
no,
are
right?
not the responsibles to create the source and target tables. So
Okay.
architect level architects, they will design the data model. Okay, what database should be there, like ODS, stage, and the data warehouse. These databases, data models, architects will decide, and after designing the data model, architects will design the tables also. So inside that, like a database, what column should be there, like this. I'll show you one sample data model. Okay, so like that, they will design the data models. So once data model is designed, so like this, they will design the data model. So here you can see there are table names, column names. Like this, you can see here we have invoice customer. So columns and all these and all data models. So they will design the data model, the table name, which column should be there, and what is the data type, what is the size of that column. So all these things, and what is the primary key column in the table, or what is the foreign key column. So here we have foreign keys. So like that, the tables, columns, all these things architects will design, and this data model will give it to the DBA, database administrators, and DBA's responsibility to create these tables with these columns inside the database. Okay, so after creating these table source and target tables, okay, through front-end applications or through the source system, as I explained in the demo session. So, for example, like ATM machine connected to the database. So, whatever the transactions user will do through ATM machine or any front-end application, all the data, transaction data is going to be inserted into the database. Okay, that is our source data. So from in source table, the data is going to be loaded through that front-end applications. Our user transaction data is going to be loaded inside the source table. We just
Uh,
have to create the mapping to extract that source data from the source database, transfer and load into the target database.
so I mean, the source data can be structured or unstructured.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly. It can be a structured or an unstructured data.
okay, sure. Thank you.
So in any format, we can get the data. Okay. Fine. So like this, we have different types of joins. Now we'll start creating the mapping, and we'll see how we can join these two tables in the mapping, and by joining, how we can get the data like this into this target table. So target table, detail. So here we have all those columns. This is employee department number, and this is department table department number. So we are going to use this join first, normal join, and we'll see uh, after successful of execution, Informatica should load normal join result in this target table. So for that, we'll create a mapping. Now we have two source tables. Employee is one source, department is another source. Okay, and this is the target table. So we start importing the source designer. So here first we have to import the source definition. So there are two source tables. We have to import both the sources. In the last class we have seen while last class while using filter and router there multiple targets were there, right? Now source multiple sources. We are reading the data from multiple sources. So while using filter or router, there we have seen how to load the data into different target tables. Okay. Now we are reading the data from different sources. Connect. So this is the first source. This is second source. Like this. I've imported two sources, employee and department. And the target is EDT, employee department target. Go to the target designer. So this is the target. I will create mapping.
Ali, in case we import a wrong source, that time is there any option to clear it without deleting that source table?
Yeah, that's what. So you just have to right click and clear. No need to delete. That will not disappear. Again, you import the right one.
Okay, like is like one by one we can't do, like you showed this clear all for us, but is there any way that one by one we can clear, like particular source we don't want or
So
particular
particular
target
source
we
if you
don't
don't
want?
want. Yeah. So if you don't want, you can select and press delete button. So it will delete permanently. But you can see here,
Mm-hmm.
source table will be deleted from the repository. And any mapping which is using source will be invalidated. Continue means it will delete permanently. So we don't want to do like that. So
Okay.
here, so what you can do, otherwise you can clear all. Okay,
And
or
import again.
yes, I import again.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Ali. Like you had told us about clear all, I was just seeing like, if one of the source
Yeah,
table or target table can be cleared.
yes. Okay, so we have imported both the sources. The first one is empj underscore es, deptj underscore es. Two sources we have to drag and drop because we have two sources in this scenario. So if we drag and drop two sources, we will get two source qualifier transformations. And then target. So EDT, employee department target. We have this target. Okay, so now we have to join these two sources. After joining whatever the result we get, that result we have to load into the target. Okay, now to join sources, we know these two are the tables, right? Sources, employee and department, these two are the source tables. Okay, now so in the first example, first class itself, we have discussed about writing the query inside the source qualifier, right? So there we have the option to write a query, SQL query field. There, whatever the data we want to load into the target table, if you write that query and reader will execute the query first, and whatever the records written by that query, it will process only those records into the target table. Okay, now to populate the data in the target table, okay, so here the first query we have normal join query. Can we write this query inside the source qualifier transformation so that as soon as we start execute, so it will execute this query first and this query returns the normal join output. This is the output which we want to load in this target table, right? So since we have an option to write the query inside the source qualifier transformation, can we write this normal join query inside the source qualifier? Means yes, we can write. Okay, right? So we can write the query inside the source qualifier. Okay, but in the mapping we have two source qualifier transformations. Okay, so in which source qualifier we have to write that query? We cannot write that in both the source qualifiers. Okay, so where we can write that query, or in which source qualifier we can write that query? Means, so if you write the query in the first source qualifier here, inside this source qualifier under properties, if you write the query here, then that query, when it executes, so it will check the columns which we have used in this query. Okay, so here employee table department number we have in the query, the join condition, and also we have department table department number in that query in join condition. So do we have department table department number in this query, in this source qualifier? Which department number we have here? So do we have department number from employee table or department table? Which department number is this? Which department number is it?
From the department table.
So is this from department table?
Employee table.
So this is from employee, right? This is employee source. So you can see this is employee. This is coming from employee table. So this department number is from employee. Okay, this is not department table department number. This is from employee. Whereas in the query, we have also used a department table department number. So that department table department number does not exist inside the first source qualifier. Okay, so whatever the columns we have used in the join condition, okay, all the columns should present in that source qualifier. But we have only department table department number. We don't have department table department number. If we are going to write that query inside this source qualifier, then it is going to be invalid. Okay, because department table department number does not exist, which we have used in that query. Like this, in the same way, so instead of writing in first source qualifier, if you are going to write in the second source qualifier, so here in the second source qualifier, if you go to the properties, and here if you try to write the query, then so here we have the department number. So which department number is this? Is this department table department number or employee table department number? This is department table, right? But do we have employee table department number here? No. So we don't have employee table department number here. So because in the join query, we have also used employee table department number. Okay. So if you write the query here, it will look for the employee table department number. Do we have employee table department number? No. We have only department table department number.
Excuse me, Ali.
Right? Yes.
There is something wrong with the video and audio. Like the screen is coming after a few seconds. You say something. I don't know why it's getting stuck in between. Is it only for me?
How
Yeah,
about
I mean,
others?
there's a lot of lag in the
It's for everyone.
screen. Yeah.
No, it's fine. I think for me, it's fine.
Fine for me.
Fine also.
I don't know.
Okay. So let me unshare and share it again.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, are you able to see the mapping designer?
Yes, Ali.
No. No.
No.
Okay.
I can see.
Still you are not able to see?
No,
So yeah.
I can see. Yeah,
No.
now I can.
I can see.
now we can see.
Ali, maybe we can. I mean, I can try rejoining again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even I'll rejoin again. Yeah.
Sure. So we'll wait for a couple of minutes.
Ali, if you don't mind, can you please explain this? Like way to write the join condition? Like in
Yeah,
which...
still I have not explained that one. We'll see. where to write that join query. Okay, any other questions? Hope everyone has done the installation, right? Still anyone has any issues with the installation? Okay. Fine. Shall we continue? I think Zoya and
Yes.
okay, fine. So let me know still if you face the same issue.
Okay.
Yeah. So now here, as I told, like we cannot write that query in the first source qualifier because whatever the columns we have used in that query, though all the columns are not present in that first source qualifier. For example, department table, department number, we don't have here in the first source qualifier. In the same way, in the second source qualifier, we don't have employee table, department number. That's why we cannot write those column. We cannot write the query either in either of these source qualifier transformations. We do have option to write the query, but so here we cannot write that query inside either of these two source qualifiers because whatever the columns we have used in that query, those columns are not present in none of these source qualifier transformations. Okay, so that's the reason what we can do is, so if there are multiple sources like this to join, after drag and dropping the source definitions inside the mapping, we have to select any one of the source qualifier, either first one or select or second one. Select any one of the source qualifier and press the delete button in your keyboard. As soon as you press the delete button, it will ask you like whether do you want to delete this source qualifier transformation or not. Okay, so if you click on yes, whatever the source qualifier we have selected, that it is going to be deleted. Yes, so I have clicked on yes, deleted, right? Okay, so if there are multiple sources like this to join, so we have to delete one of the source qualifier, and whatever deleted source qualifier corresponding source definition is there, that source definition ports we have to drag and drop to the first source qualifier like this. Keep only one. Okay, so whatever the ports are there, second source definition or deleted source qualifier corresponding source definition ports, we have to drag and drop to the first source qualifier like this. Okay, and then from here, so there are 5 columns now. Okay, select all these ports from source qualifier, drag and drop to the target definition. Okay, so we have connected all the ports from source to target definition. So now tell me, can we write the normal join query inside the source qualifier? Do we have all the ports which we have used in the query? Do we have employee table department number and also department table department number inside the source qualifier? Yes, right. So we have all the
Yes.
columns. So we have all the columns which we have used in the query. And so now if I'm going to write that query inside the source qualifier, it is going to be valid. Open the source qualifier and go to the properties tab, open this one, and here we can write the query. We can also validate the query whether it is valid or not. No errors detected. Okay, so now this query is valid. So what it will do, as soon as we validate, it will connect to the database. It will check whether that source tables exist or not inside the database. So if the tables does not exist, it is going to be invalid. So if the tables exist, then no errors detected. Apply. Okay. So like this, we can write a query inside the source qualifier. Yes.
What if we don't write the query and just run it like that without the query? What would happen?
Which one? Here?
Yeah. What if we run it without the query? Would it automatically know to join the two tables?
No. So if you, I mean, like automatically how it will write a query? It will not write a query automatically. So first it will be blank here. We have to write the query manually here inside the source qualifier.
No, Ali, the question is like, what will happen if we don't write? Is there any, because we have created a mapping and we'll be creating a workflow, everything. Will the tables fetch the data or not fetch the data?
So if you don't write a query, then how this Informatica knows that which type of join it should have to do? Whether it is a normal join, left outer join, right outer join. So how it knows that what it should have to do? Okay, and also we'll see. So if you don't write a query, what will happen? So well, let's say I've just given the links like this, and I have not written any query inside the source qualifier. So we'll create a session task workflow and execute and see whether it will load the data or it will fail the execution. Okay, so because if you don't write, then it doesn't know. So if you specifically write, then it knows that okay, it should have to do the join like this. EMP join source to target. So this is session task, EMP join source to target. Now since we have two targets, the connection should be for both the targets, sorry, the sources. Okay, so here we have j_yes and this is the target. Then the workflow join link task. So with this we have done with everything. I have not written any query. So without writing a query, if we execute, we'll see what will happen. So don't forget to save. So after execution, you should have to save. Okay. So these are the general questions. In interview they may also ask. Okay, so we have just connected, and if you don't write the query, what will happen? Is it going to be succeeded or it is going to be oh come, I have removed the query, still we have the query here. Okay, so we have got two records. Let me delete the query in the next step. Since I have written the query normal join, we can now see the output of the normal join. So here we have got matching record from both the tables. Okay, because there is a query. Now this time I'm going to remove this query. Let's execute and see what will happen. So we don't have any query here now. Session task refresh mapping. So you can see what it is showing. The error message. What is the first line? The mapping associated with this session is invalid. Mapping itself is invalid. Okay, so before executing itself, you will get the error message. And if you see here, if you scroll up below, and if you validate this mapping during or if you save this mapping, here it will show you mapping is invalid, and here you will get red dot. Okay, before the mapping name. So by seeing that, we'll come to know that is the invalid mapping. Why this is invalid? So you can see the error message here. Validating the transformations, validating the data flow, input source. Okay, so SQ, sources to SQ. This one, EMPG_yes have no relationship. There are data flow errors. Okay, so it is showing there is no relationship between these two tables. Okay, so here it is saying there is no relationship, so that's why it is invalid. Transformation wise, no errors, but when it is joining, so since we have drag and drop it here, so here there is no relationship between these two sources. Okay, relationship how we will get between these two sources? Only if you write the join condition, then only it knows that these two tables are these two sources based on which column it should have to join, right? So that we do in the join condition. So if you don't write the join condition, then it doesn't know like from which column to which column it should have, based on which column it should have to join. Even though there are two common columns, It doesn't know. Maybe it can also join based on employee number and department number. That is not the correct. And also it may also consider employee name and department name. That is also not correct. So how Informatica knows that based on which column it should have to join those two sources, right? So for that reason only, we have to write the query inside the source qualifier. Automatically it will not write any query. Okay, automatically it will not take the join condition. We have to specify which type of join condition it should have to do, whether it is a normal join or left outer join or right outer join or full outer join. Okay, so we have seen the normal join. Now I'm going to copy this left outer join query here inside the source qualifier.
Excuse me, Ali, one more question. Like, why we are writing in the SQL query? How will we know that whether we should write in pre-SQL, post-SQL, or just SQL?
So you tell me, where do we have to write this SQL query? So how do we know that this query we have to write in pre-SQL, post-SQL, or SQL query?
There is no condition and it's a simple single query. Because of that, we'll write it in SQL query.
No. No. What will happen if you write this left outer join query in pre-SQL?
Before
Is it?
loading, it will check, right?
Yeah, so that is at the beginning of the execution, before loading the data into the target table, it will check is there any query in pre-SQL. That is correct. But what will happen if you write this query here inside the pre-SQL? Is it going to load left outer join result inside the target table? So did you try while executing the distinct query? So have you ever tried to write the distinct query in pre-SQL without writing the distinct query inside the SQL query field? What will happen if you write the query here? So remember, we cannot write the select statement here inside the pre-SQL. We cannot write means even though if you write, nothing will happen. It will not load the data into the target table. So you cannot write the query inside the pre-SQL or post-SQL which you want to load the data into the target table from source. So if you want to load the data from specific record, so from source, if you want to load the specific records into the target table, that select statement always we have to write in SQL query field. Or I can also say, let me write here one more point. Okay, so or we can say this one. Oh no. I'll add one more point here. So inside the pre-SQL, here we can write DDL, DML, okay, TCL. Do you know what is meant by DDL, DML, TCL? What are the commands are there in DDL?
Data definition language, data
Manipulation language, transaction control language. In data definition language, what commands are there?
Create, alter,
Create, alter, drop,
drop,
truncate.
and truncate.
Okay, so these commands we can write in DDL. Okay, so you can write a query to create a table. You can write a query to alter the table. You can write a query to drop the table or to truncate the table. But you cannot write the select query which we want to load the data into the target table. So if you write a select query that will execute, you will not get any error, but it will not load the data. It will not give that data to the writer. So if you want to get the data from the source and load it to the target table, always that select statement we have tried only in SQL query field. Okay, so in the same way, DML means data manipulation language, insert, update, delete, only these three commands. So you can also write insert query, update query, delete query that is valid and it is going to delete the data, insert the data, or update the data. Also you can write transaction control language means commit, or rollback. So these commit also we can write here inside the pre-SQL. So only these commands we can write in pre-SQL or post-SQL, whereas here in SQL query field, DRL. What is meant by DRL? Data retrieval language. To retrieve the data from the source, always we have to write that query inside the SQL query field. So whatever the data you want to retrieve from the source table, that query only we have to write in SQL query field. Then, so whatever query we have written here, inside the SQL query field, reader will connect to the source database. From there, it will read the data and it will give it to the writer and it will write the data in the target. But if you write this distinct query in pre-SQL or post-SQL, nothing will happen. Reader will not give that distinct record to the writer. Reader, if you want to give those records to the writer, then you have to write that query inside the inside that SQL query field. So here pre-SQL, post-SQL, directly reader is going to execute that query inside the source or target database. It will not give it to the writer. Okay, so it will just execute that query. And as soon as that query is executed, it will just update or insert or delete whatever we have written. That query is going to execute. That's it. But the select statement, it will select the data, but it will not give it to the writer to write the data in the target database. So to write the data in the target database, we have to write always the select statement inside the SQL query field. So that's the reason. So here also we are not writing
Excuse
those
me.
queries inside the SQL query. So we just have to write that query in SQL query, not in pre-SQL or post-SQL.
Okay.
Yeah. So using the select statement in pre-SQL or post-SQL will throw an error too.
Which one? So no, it will not throw error. That's what I'm saying. If you write the select statement in pre-SQL or post-SQL, you will not get any error. Okay, it will execute successfully, but you will not get the data in the target table. Target table still it will be empty only.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so whatever the records written by this query, so if I write this query inside the pre-SQL, that will execute. But whatever records written by that query, those records reader will not give it to the writer to write into the target table. So only if you write the select statement in the SQL query field, whatever records written by that query, reader will give it to the writer. So writer will write those records inside the target table.
Okay.
So can we write the DDL queries and all in the SQL query? Like, will it work fine?
Yes, there
Okay.
if you want, you can write the query, DDL queries or DML queries and all.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, next one more point you can remember here. Now let's say here I have written only one query, right? Here select statement, here truncate and update. Can't we write multiple SQL queries in pre-SQL? Suppose let's say in pre-SQL I want to write 10 SQL queries. One insert statement, one update statement, one delete statement, one truncate statement. So like that multiple SQL queries I want to write inside the pre-SQL. Then what do we have to do? Can we write multiple SQL queries inside the pre-SQL or post-SQL or SQL query field? Means yes. We can also write multiple SQL queries. So that multiple SQL query concept we'll discuss in the future class. Since you have asked now, so I'm explaining here itself. Again, we'll talk about this, writing the multiple SQL queries inside the pre-SQL or post-SQL or SQL query field. Okay. So if you have requirement to write multiple SQL queries, means then what you have to do is, so by differentiating each and every query with a semicolon, at the end of the query you have to put the semicolon. So for example, here I want to write one update statement and one insert statement. So update table name, like this you have written the query. At the end of the query you have to put the semicolon and then you have to start with the insert statement. By differentiating with the semicolon, you can write multiple queries, and also after insert statement I want to write some commit. Okay, so like this, so you have to put the semicolon and then commit. So now here we have 3 SQL statements. So like this, by differentiating with the semicolon, we can also write multiple SQL queries. Okay, next. And also, if there are multiple SQL queries to write inside the source qualifier transformations like this, what we do is generally, instead of writing the multiple SQL statements here inside the pre-SQL or SQL query or post SQL, so what we do is, instead of writing these queries here, multiple SQL queries, we create a stored procedure. Okay, in SQL recorded session, I have explained there how to create a stored procedure, right? So we create a stored procedure in a database. There inside the stored procedure, we write multiple SQL queries. We can write n number of multiple queries inside the stored procedure. We create that stored procedure inside the database, and after creating the stored procedure inside the database, here we just have to write call stored procedure name sp. So whatever the stored procedure name we have given, like sp underscore something like this. Let's say this is the stored procedure name which we have given while creating the stored procedure. So we just have to write like this call space stored procedure. So this stored procedure inside the database contains the multiple SQL statements. Okay, so as soon as this call is there, this will understand, reader or writer will understand, okay, this is the stored procedure. It should have to check for the stored procedure inside the database. It will connect to the source database, means whatever the connection we have given for the source, it will connect to that source database and it will check for the stored procedure whether the procedure exists or not. If this procedure exists, then it will execute that procedure, and inside the procedure we have the multiple SQL statements. Those multiple SQL statements are going to execute one after the other, and after successful of execution of the stored procedure, this pre-SQL query or post-SQL query, wherever we have written this stored procedure, that it is going to be succeeded, and then it will proceed further. Okay, so again we'll discuss this in future class when we talk about the stored procedure. Fine. So like that, we can also write the multiple SQL statements inside the SQL query or pre-SQL, post-SQL. Here also, if you are calling the stored procedure, inside the stored procedure you will have a select statement, insert statement. Okay, any SQL statement you can write inside that stored procedure, and you can call the stored procedure here, either places like pre-SQL, post-SQL, or SQL query. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so while practicing, you have to play with this fields, these properties, SQL query, pre-SQL, post-SQL. So you in the class, I have explained to write the select a distinct query in SQL query field, right? Okay, but I didn't ask you to write that query in pre-SQL. So while practicing, you have to try. Okay, so what will happen if you don't write a query in SQL query, and if you write the query in pre-SQL? Is it going to select the distinct records? You have to create a separate mapping. So write the query in pre-SQL, select statement, execute, and see whether you have got any error message. Okay, or is it failed the execution, or what happened exactly, to know after execution of that mapping which you have written the query inside the pre-SQL. You have to go to the workflow monitor, open the log file. So here you will get the get session log, right? So if you click on log file, you can see execution statistics here, step by step. First, what is executed, second, what is executed, whether really pre-SQL statement executed first or not. So here inside the log file, you can see the steps, execution steps. Okay, so you have to try to understand this log file. Okay, like here step by step execution statistics you will find. Okay, so by seeing that log file, you will come to know, okay, so the SQL statement, whether it is executed or not, here you will find. Okay, and that SQL statement after execution, whether it has given that data to the writer or not, here you will find in log file. Okay, so if it has not given, then what is the error message, or what message it has displayed here, why it has not given that data to the writer, that message you will find here in details, in detail execution statistics. Here you will have inside the log file. Okay, so like that, those things and all you have to try. If you are not getting, if you don't understand, you can ask me anytime. So I have written the query, but I didn't get the output. So why it didn't get? What will happen? Why can't we write? So all these things you have to list down the questions. Okay. Fine. Next. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
So So when it comes to joining two tables, that basically only that join statement works, is it?
What is it? When
In the source qualifier, the query you can use is only mainly a join query. You can't use any other types of query.
why we can't use other types of, when, like, if you have two tables to join
No,
or
I was
single table?
I was wondering, since we are connecting it to a same source qualifier, if there are any other possibilities other than a join, just writing the join statement.
Okay, so here you can write a join query, and also you can select the specific records after joining. So in this join query, definitely 100% you have to write a join query. That there's no doubt in that. So if you don't write a join query, or if you don't give the join condition, then it doesn't know, as we have seen earlier, it doesn't know what columns are based on what it should have to join. After writing the join query, still if you want to select the specific records from the join result set, you can write where clause, where department number is equals to 10 or 20 or greater than salary sum, whatever the records you want to select, you can write in where clause. Based on where clause, so you can filter the data, or you can also select the distinct here. In the same query, you can also write distinct column names.
Okay.
Yeah, so after joining, definitely we should have to join, and then based on that join, again, if you want to filter the data, you can filter it.
Okay, thank you.
So second time before we execute, we have made the changes to this so mapping, and now this is refresh the mapping, validate, save. Okay. Now, before we save, we also enable the truncate target table option so that it will truncate the target table before we load the data. Save. Now I have selected the left outer join. Start workflow, started execution. This time it is going to read 3 records from the source, and those 3 records loaded into the target. So this time this target table will have left outer join all the records from the left side table, only matching records from right side table. So in the same way, you can also write the right outer join query, open the source qualifier, go to the properties tab, open the SQL query field. This is right outer join. So even though if you don't validate, that's fine, but you should have to make sure the query is valid. Now, since we have made the changes, we have to right click refresh mapping, save, now execute. As soon as we start execute, we will get now right outer join result. So it got succeeded. So we'll have 40 record now in the target table. So here we have got 40, which is first were the matching record from both, and this is only matching record from right side table. So in the same way, we can also write full outer join. Got it? This is how we have to join two tables. Okay. Now currently here I have joined two tables. Suppose let's say if there are 3 tables to join. If there are 3 tables to join, so in your source you have to import 3 source definitions. In the mapping you will drag and drop 3 source definitions. You will have 3 source definitions and 3 source qualifier transformations. And can you tell me how many source qualifiers we have to keep and how many we have to delete if you have 3 sources and 3 targets?
We have to keep one and delete the 2.
Exactly. So, yeah, so we have to keep only one source qualifier, delete the other 2 source qualifier. Any source qualifier you can select and keep that one, and remaining source qualifiers you have to delete. If there are 10 tables to join, you will have 10 source qualifiers and 10 source definitions. How many we have to delete and how many we have to keep?
One only we have to keep.
Right, it doesn't matter how many are there in the source. Okay, we just have to keep only one source qualifier. Whatever 9 deleted source qualifiers are there, corresponding 9 deleted source qualifiers corresponding source definition ports, we have to drag and drop to the first source qualifier. and you will have 10 source definitions and only one source qualifier. All the 10 source definition will be connected like this to the one source qualifier, and there you can write the join query by joining 10 tables. Got it? So this is how we can join multiple tables. We can read the data by joining from multiple tables.
Can you show the monitor screen to see the results once again? So here, actually there should be 5 from the 5 rows. They are selecting 3, right? So for the input, like there should be 5 rows, right?
Where do we have 5 rows? So we have
Like
3 rows.
start.
In the employee table we have only 3 rows. Department table also we have only 3 rows. We don't have 5 rows here.
Okay.
So we have only three rows. Yes.
Okay. No, nothing. No. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. After joining, if it is left outer join, here, all the matching record from both the tables. These two are the matching records, 10, 20, and this is the non-matching record. This also will display. So all the records from left side table means all these 3, and only matching records from right side table. For 10 and 20, we have these 2 are the matching records. First 2 are the matching records. That it will display. That is the output we have got. So this is right outer join. So all the records from right side table, only matching records from left side table. So we have only 3 records. We don't have 5. So if you do full join, then matching or non-matching, that time you will get 6 rows. Okay. So it doesn't matter whether it is a matching or not. So it returns 6 rows. So here you can see the full outer join query result. So not 6, here also we have got 4. Okay. So only matching 2 and this one 2. And we have cross join. So if you do cross join, then 3 into 3. 3 3s are 6. 6 or 9. 3 3s are 9. 9 rows you will get cross join. Okay, but full outer join, only matching and non-matching. So we'll get first 2 are the matching records and the last 2 are the non-matching records. So total we'll get 4. Here also we don't have 5. Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
Next example. Now we have seen different types of joins here and how to use these joins and what are the outputs of different joins. Next. Now here we are talking about joining the tables from the same database. So or from the same user. System is the user here, right? System is the user. Okay, so username is system. Okay, suppose let's say we have the table from the different database or from different user. This is another system 2 is the another user. So let's say employee table is in one user, department table is in another user, or employee table is in Oracle database. Okay, department table is in SQL Server, some other database. Joining tables are from different databases or different schemas or from different users. Then we cannot do like this. We cannot join those 2 sources like this. We cannot delete the source qualifier. We cannot write the query inside the source qualifier to join the tables if they are from different databases or different sources or different schemas or different users. We cannot write a join query, or we cannot delete the source qualifier transformation inside. We cannot delete the source qualifier transformation to write the query if the joining tables are from same database. Now here employee and department, these 2 are from the same database, Oracle database, under same user, system user only. Those 2 are present in the same user. Since they are from the same user, that's why we can delete the source qualifier and we can copy the deleted source qualifier corresponding source definition ports to the first source qualifier. There we can write a query. Okay, so if they are from different databases, then we cannot write the query or we cannot follow this process to join the tables like that. Then what do we have to do if the tables are from different databases? Okay, so if the tables are from different databases, also we call it as a heterogeneous sources. Okay, then we have to create joiner transformation in the mapping. Joiner transformation. So joiner transformation is for to join the tables if they are from different databases or different sources or heterogeneous sources. Then we can use joiner transformation. If the joining tables are from same database, then we can write a join query like this and we can follow this process whatever we discussed till now. If the joining tables are from different databases, so if they are from different databases, then definitely we have to create a joiner transformation to join such type of tables. So now we'll see practically how we can join the tables from different databases or from different users. Okay, so in my system, I have already created another user with the name system2. So here, even though it is XC, here also username is system. So what I will do is, okay, I will create another user like this. Okay, since you also should know how to create a user, create user username system3. Okay, so let me give system3, create user username identified. So identified by, so we should have to write like this, identified by and the password. So whatever the password we want to give, that we have to give. I'm going to give the same password, semicolon. So this is the query to create another user. Okay, currently while installing the Oracle database, by default it has taken the system user and we are doing the practice, or we have created the tables under system user only. Okay, now I'm creating new user with the name system3, password also I have given system3. This is case sensitive. So if you are giving capital letters here in the password, while connecting to the database, you also have to give the same capital letters. If you have given in small letters, while connecting, you also have to give in small letters. Okay, so now if I execute, you can see user has created. System3 user has created. Let me delete this one so that it will not have any confuse. Okay, the XE also will delete. Okay, fine. So now system3 user we have created. After creating a user, you have to add that user here. System3 user. Click on the plus button, name system, password system, username password theme capital system3 and password also capital system3, and we have to test. Create session privileges. Okay, so we'll have to give the grant DBA to system3. Grant succeeded. So this also we have to execute. Okay, now we'll try to add username system3, password system3. Test. Now you can see test a success. After creating the user, we have to grant DBA. DBA means database administrator privileges. Okay, so that user system3. So what he should do, like whether he can create the tables or he can update the tables, or through that user, what operations we can perform. So if we give the grant DBA like this, database administrator privileges means, so this user can, after logging to this user, so we can also create the tables, inserting the data, updating the data, all the privileges will get, whatever the privileges are there to the system user, all the privileges the system3 user also will get. Okay, so now we'll add that user and we'll create the department table there. Test is success. Now save that one and connect. So password same system3. So connected. Okay, so now the department employee table, whatever we have here, we'll consider the employee table from this, and department table will create here. create table dept gnr underscore source. Okay, this is from system 3, right? So for that I will write S3 here, system 3, sys3, department JNR sys3. Okay, and the column names, department number, and the department name, varchar 2 of 10. So like this we can create a table. So you can see department JNR sys3 table got created, and we'll insert some records in the this table. Insert into, and what is the table name? This is the table values, and here 10 HR, one row inserted, 20 accounts, second row also inserted, we'll give 40 here, 40 finance, execute, and then commit. So created the table and inserted some 3 rows in this table, and these two are from different schemas. So one is under system schema, the schema or user. So this is under different schema. So if the tables, now we are going to join this employee J underscore yes, or we'll use another table here. We have JNR also, joiner, JNR source. Okay, so we have the joiner table here. Here also we are going to use joiner. So this JNR from system source and another table from another source department is from system 3 user, and these two tables, they are from different schemas, and these two tables we are going to join by using the joiner transformation. Okay, and the target table will use the same target table. So in this table only we load it. Okay, so one source is from system user, another source is from system 3 user, and these two users we are going to join by using the joiner transformation. Let's start creating the mapping. First import the sources, source import from database. So this JNR underscore yes is there under system only, right? Connect JNR underscore yes. Okay, now another one, this is department, this is not there under system. Okay, so here if you, when you try to import, so we have created one ODBC data source, right? This is for to connect it to the system user. Okay, we don't have any other ODBC data source to connect it to the system 3 user. Okay, so what we can do, let me delete the other ODBC sources. Okay, so I will add one more ODBC data source to connect it to the system 3 Oracle wire protocol, finish, and this is system 3. Okay, and host name localhost. Like this, if you have new user to connect on new database, you have to create a new ODBC data source here. Port number 1521, SID XE. Okay, that's it. So system 3 is the data source name I have given. Test connect, username system 3, password system 3. Okay, now connection established. Okay, apply. Okay, so we have got XE underscore system. No, where is it? System 3. Here we have got the system 3. Okay, so click on OK. Now I'm going to select that system 3 to connect it to the system 3 username system 3, password also system 3, connect, and from this list we have the table, department table, whatever we have created. Like that, if you connect it to the different database or different schema, we have to give the details like this. So first we have to create a ODBC data source to connect it to the different user, and different username passwords we have to give like this, and then select that table, department table, and OK. Done. Now system is from system this is from employee is from system user, department is from system 3 user. Different schemas or different users. Some people will call it as schemas and some people users. Both are same. User or schema, both are same. Next, target, we are going to use the same target, EDT, the mapping. M underscore emp JNR underscore source underscore target. JNR means joiner transformation. In this, we are going to create a joiner. So here, joiner source. This is from system user, and you can see system 3 also got created here. Department. So we have to drag and drop like this. Now here we cannot delete and we cannot write a join query in the source qualifier. So we should not delete the source qualifiers if they are from different schemas or different databases. And then the target table EDT. So after that, we have to create joiner. Go to the menu transformation, create. From this list, you have to select joiner, JNR, create, done. So joiner transformation has created. So after creating the joiner transformation, so you have to follow these steps. I'll write the steps here. So the first step, first we'll create the joiner. After creating the joiner transformation, we have to decide master and detail tables from joining tables. So always we have to do this one. So how to decide which is the master and which is the detail? Whichever the table is the parent table or less number of rows table, we have to consider as a master table. So whichever the table is a less number of rows, that table we have to consider as a master table. So if they both are having the same number of rows, we have to think about the future also. In future, which table is going to have the less number of rows? Based on that, we have to decide which is the master and which is the detail. So after deciding the master and detail, now tell me in these two tables, employee and department, can you tell me which can be a master and which can be a detail? Which can be a parent table and which can be a detail table? How would we decide which is the parent and which is the child table? Based on the primary key. So if any table has the primary key, then that table we can consider as a parent table, and if any table has the foreign key, that is the child table. But here we don't have primary key or foreign key relationship. But generally, if you think, so in a company, let's say if there are 10 departments, under each department again will have hundreds of or you can have tens of employees, or under each department we can have multiple employees, right? So max we will have 10 departments or 20 departments in a company or in an organization. Okay, so under each department again we'll have employees, right? So in that case, which table is going to have the more number of records and which table is going to have the less number of records?
Department would have less, employee would have more.
Exactly. So department always will have the less number of records compared with employee, because for one department, department table should have only one row, whereas for the same row in employee you can have multiple rows, because under that department we can have multiple employees. Like that we have to think. Okay, so based on that, let's say now we have decided department contains the less number of rows, so that's the reason department table we are going to consider as a master table. Okay, and the other table employee is the detail table. So like that we have to decide. After deciding the master and detail, we have to copy detail ports first to joiner from source qualifier. So from source qualifier we have to copy the detail ports first to the joiner transformation. Now we know which is the master and which is the detail. So this department is the master, employee is the detail, right? So as per the rule, we have to copy the detail ports first to the joiner transformation. So select these ports, drag and drop to the joiner. Now you can see as soon as you drag and drop, it will understand whatever the ports you drag and drop, those are the detail ports. Okay. and the master ports. Select the master source qualifier, drag and drop the master ports to the joiner transformation. So like that, we have to decide the master and detail, and drag and drop first detail ports to the joiner and then the master ports. So from here, joiner we can select, we can drag and drop all these ports to the target definition. Like this, we can create a mapping. Okay, so why we have to decide master and detail? Why can't we drag and drop detail first and then the why can't we drag and drop the master first and then the detail? Means you can drag and drop the master ports first and then the detail ports. But to improve the joiner transformation performance, we have to follow this thing. We have to decide the master and detail, and first we have to drag and drop the detail ports and then the master ports, then master ports. Okay, first detail ports and then the master ports. Then only it will give the better performance. So after drag and dropping the ports like this, then connect from joiner to the target definition.
So where did you select that master and detail, like in the mapping window? Where did you select that?
I have not selected the master and detail. As soon as we drag and drop any ports first to the joiner transformation, joiner will understand those are the detail ports.
Oh, okay.
You will get automatically source type as detail. We no need to select the detail and master.
Okay, first one will become the detail.
Okay. We decide which is the master and which is the detail.
Okay.
So and then we know employs the detail ports, right? So that's the reason I have copied these ports to the joiner. So joiner understood that these are the detail ports, whatever we drag and drop to the first to the joiner.
Okay.
Okay, so after copying the ports like this, we have to connect from joiner to target definition. So after giving the links, we have to select join type in joiner transformation. So we have to select the join type. What is meant by join type? Join type means whether it is a normal join, left outer join, detail, right outer join, full outer join. So we have to select the join type, right? Okay, and also we have to add the join condition. Okay, select the join type and the join condition in joiner transformation. So for that, open the joiner transformation, go to the condition tab. Currently we don't have any condition, so click on this button, automatically the condition will come, but we have to select the ports. Master department number is equals to, this is another department number, right? So master table department number with the detail table department number. So like this we'll get the join condition. So what it will do, it will take the department number from the master table, which is department table, and then it will look for the matching value inside the detail table department number column. So if the search is going to be a master to detail, then it will give the better performance compared with searching the data from detail to master. So that is the reason we have to decide the master and detail here, and based on that only, if you copy the ports, so in join condition we'll get the master first and then the detail. So that means it will take the value from the master table and it will look for the matching value inside the detail table. After setting the join condition, we have to go to the properties tab. Under properties tab, join type. So here we have the join type, and by default it is a normal join. If you click on it, you will get other types of joins also. Here we don't have left outer or right outer. The same left outer, right outer, we call it as a master outer join and the detail outer join. Okay, and full outer join. So inside the joiner transformation, you should not say the left outer join or right outer join. So you have to say master, which is left outer join, and the detail outer join. Like that we have to say. So I'll write the definitions here about the normal join or left this one master outer join and detail outer join. So normal join means we know what is normal join. So it returns matching records from both the tables. Okay, and then we have master outer join. Master outer join means all the records from detail table and only matching records from master table. So this is the definition of master outer join. And then detail outer join. All the records from the all the records from the master table and only matching records from detail table. So we should not use the left and right or left or right. What's here? We have to say master or detail. All the records from the master table and only matching records from detail table. Okay, and then the full outer join means the same. So it returns both matching and non-matching records from both the tables. Okay, so these are the definition. This is also important. This also they will ask in interview. What is master outer join? What is the detail outer join? You have to see the same definition. Master outer join is all the records from, it returns all the records from the detail table and only matching records from master table. We'll see practically this one. Now currently normal join is selected, save. That's it. So with this we have done with the mapping. We'll create session workflow and then execute. S_m_emp GNR source to target. GNR, this is the mapping. Create. Okay, and one important point here, in the session task we have to set the connections. Okay, so if you see, since we have two sources and they are from different schemas, by default it has selected for all the three dev, right? Oracle dev, which is system user. Okay, but department JNR sys3 is not from this schema. So do we have that sys3 in this connection Oracle dev which we have created in the beginning? Do we have that sys3 in this connection, or what is Oracle dev? So if you see the relational Oracle dev edit, it is connecting to which user? System user. But that table exists under which user? System 3. So we have to create a new, connection to connect to the system 3 user. This is system 3. To connect to the system 3 user, we have to give the new connection. This is XC. Okay. Like this, we have to give. Now inside the session task, we have to specify the connection for that department JNR S3, not Oracle dev. So here we have to select system 3 like this. So since there is a change in the connection, it is not in the same user, it is in system 3 user. That's why we have to set the connection. Okay, now it is ready to execute, and before we execute, we also set the truncate target table option so that every time we can see the latest data in the target. Save, execute. Since it's a normal join, we'll get the matching records from both the tables. So it got succeeded. Okay, so from both the sources, it has selected three rows, but after joining the data from both the sources from different schemas, we have got the matching records only 2. And here, so this is there here. Now we have got matching records from both the tables. Okay, so this time before we execute second time, I will select master outer join. Okay, I've set the master outer join. Here, since I've made the changes, we have to refresh the mapping, save and execute. So if I start execute, so what is the master outer join? It returns all the records from the detail table. What is the detail table here? Employee table. Employee is the detail and department is a master, right? This is the detail table. And this is the master table where we have less number of rows. Okay, so now this time, as per the definition, master outer join means all the records from the detail table. Means 10, 20, 30 will have, we will not have the 40. So if I execute this query, EDT. So we'll get here 10, 20, 30. All the records from the detail table and only matching records from master table. So master table means this is a master table. So here we have 10, 20, 40 from different user. So even though we have 10, 20, 40, we didn't get the 40 here because we have selected master outer join. In the same way, detail outer join. So detail outer join means all the records from the master table. Save, execute. Succeeded. So here we have got all the records from the master table. Department is the master table. We have got 10, 20, 40 and only matching records from left side table. That is not left. We have to say detail table. So all the records as per the definition, you can see all the records from the master table and only matching records from detail table. So detail table only 10 and 20 are the matching records. Only those two we have got from detail table. That's it. So full outer join means both matching and non-matching. This is how we can use joiner transformation if they are from different databases. I have shown you here how to create a ODBC data source to import the table from the another database or from other user. Also, we have created another user and we have given the grant DBA to that user, and we have imported that table here in the mapping. And also in the connections, also we have to create a separate connection for that, because that table exists in a different schema. If it is different database, also in the same way we have to create a different connection, and we have to select that connection, and inside the session task we have to specify that connection and then execute. So joiner transformation, it will connect to source, it will connect it to the different databases or different users or different schemas. From there it will read the data and it will give it to the joiner based on whatever the join type we have selected, and based on the join condition it will do the join, and whatever the result we get, that result it will load into the target table. That's it. That's how. So if they are from same database, we have to follow the first scenario, like writing the query inside the source qualifier transformation. If the tables are from different schemas or different users or from different databases, then definitely without writing a query, you have to create a joiner transformation to join those two tables. Clear? That's it. Okay, so you practice these things, joins, clear, and if you have any questions, you can ask.
Even in the first case.
Yes, go ahead.
Even in the first case, when it is from the same database, can we use this joiner transformation? Will it throw error?
Exactly. Yes, definitely 100% we can use. Even though the tables are from the same database, we can use joiner transformation. It will not throw any error. We will get the expected output. But only we can use, most of the times we'll use joiner if they are from different databases or different users or from different schemes. But you will not get any error. It will be succeeded, and you will get the expected output. So this one also you can practice. So after writing the query inside the source qualifier, after completion of that example, so from the same database tables, you create another mapping, create joiner, and see whether you are getting the expected output or not. Definitely you will get.
Okay. Here I have one more question. Like in the monitor, can you just show the monitor?
Okay.
So in this case, it is reading 3 data from both the sources and giving 3 in the output, right? But initially, before when we did from same database, it was not reading the 3 data, right? From the both source.
It was reading 3 records, no? Okay. So if it is a normal join, it will not read 3 records. Even though there are 3 records in both the sources, in normal join, it will not read 3 records. Why it will not read 3 records? Because we have written a query. So query is going to execute on top of the database to join those two tables. So whatever this query returns, inside the query we have written normal join query. So this normal join query has written 2 records. That's the reason reader has read only these 2 records from the source database. Even though there are three records, since we have written the query inside the source qualifier that query executed or it has written only 2 records. That's the reason in monitor you saw 2 records.
Okay, so after like going to the condition, it will like show the data, right? Initially, after
Means,
executing the condition. Okay.
yes, after executing the query only, it will display the data. It will display the count here. If there is no query, then so here in joiner transformation we have not written any query. That's why from the first database or from the first table or from a employee table it has selected 3 rows, and from department table it has selected 3 rows, and both the sources 3 rows it has assigned to the joiner. Here joiner will decide based on the join condition. So if we have selected normal join, then joiner, even though we have got three records here, based on the join condition, joiner will return 2 records, and that's the reason here in target table after loading those 2 records you can see the count as 2, but here in the sources 3 you will see.
Okay,
Because there is no query here.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Fine, so that's all for the day. We'll continue tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll start with the scenarios. Okay, so tomorrow we'll discuss 2 different scenarios. Till now we discussed some of the transformations like source qualifier, we know properties, and then the expression transformation, filter transformation, router transformation, sequence generator, normalizer transformation, joiner transformation, right? Around 7 transformations we know till now. So we'll start implementing the transformations in the scenarios. So tomorrow we'll start scenarios. Fine. So S3 type 1 scenario will start. In data warehouse, I explained slowly changing dimension, right? Type 1, type 2, type 3. Tomorrow we'll start type 1. Type 1 is for to maintain the latest data in the target. That will see practically how we can get the latest data into the target tables. Okay, so that's all for the day. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah, Ali, one question.
Yes.
So in the last assignment which you have given, the last example, I tried out and the output is also fine with the OR condition. But why can't we use AND? I used AND, but it is not fetching any records. It's fetching 0 records. But
exactly. Why it will give 0 records if you use AND condition, and when it will be true? What is the difference between AND and OR?
OR means any of the record it will fetch. And
Yeah,
means it
any
should
one of
fetch.
not record, any one of the conditions should be true.
Okay.
So I mean, like before and after the OR, you will have 2 conditions. DNY is equals to 10 is one condition, or DNY is equals to 20 is another condition, right? 2 conditions. Okay, so if you use OR operator, whatever the record is getting, so for that record, anyone, suppose let's say if 10 comes, then it should be, the condition is going to be true. For the next record, if 20 comes, then also that condition is going to be true. But if you use AND operator, for the same record, at a time we will not get 10 and 20, right? At a time, record by record it will send. For the first record, only department number 10 will be there. So if for the first record itself, if it is going to get 10 and 20, both the values, if it is going to get, then the AND condition is going to be true. But we are sure for the first time it will send only one record it will send. First record it will send, for that record we'll have either 10 or 20 or 30, any one of the department number only. Okay, so that's why, so if you use OR operator, say first condition DNY is equals to 10 is going to be true, and the right side after OR, whatever the condition is there, that is going to be false, because for that department number we didn't get 20, we have got only 10. So that's why, so OR means either of the condition, if it is going to be true, that condition is going to be true. That's the reason it will satisfy that condition. If you use AND, then for the same department number, both should get at a time. We will not get a department number at a time 10 and 20 for the same record. will get either one of the value, 10 or 20 or 30. Only one will get at a time.
Okay, understood. So it is checking within the cycle. So that's the reason it is doing it. Okay, understood.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you, Ali.
Fine, that's all right. Any other questions? Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Ali.
Thanks. Bye, Ali.